On this week's Tuesday Talk, we are talking about our upcoming adventures and any fears associated with that.
Yes, this came directly from a comment from one of our videos last
Cornfield
week.
Suburbs.
Yep.
So, here we go.
Okay, so I guess I'll go. Mine is really the reason why we're recording this inside today instead of outside. It is absurdly hot. It's 94 degrees in Tucson, Arizona.
Middle of March.
Luckily, we're still in a campground so we can plug in and run the AC. So we're fine today. But one of my fears going forward, and we knew this going in, is there will be days where it will be brutally hot, and we'll be out in the middle of nowhere, and we just have to either suffer through it or bring the dogs in the truck and run some AC or move somewhere.
Yeah.
So there will be times where that's going to happen.
Yeah. Even with us moving with the weather, it's still going to happen. Places that normally have averages in the 60s during the middle of summer can sometimes have 95-degree days. It happens. So
even Seattle was really hot last year, and we were planning to spend a lot of the summer actually in the Northwest.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works.
Yeah. But yeah, I think my two major fears are, one, I don't fear that we won't like living in the Airstream. I don't fear about us traveling, but I fear that we might push ourselves a little too fast. I may not like the speed at which we travel, because we are trying to hit some places this summer a little quicker than I think we originally planned. So I'm a little bit fearful of...
It always seems to happen, especially your first year.
Yeah, we're going to try to do it slow, but we're trying to do a certain kind of loop, and so we'll see if we get there.
We just have to remind ourselves that we're retired. There's no reason to rush.
Yeah.
The national parks will still be there. Mount Rushmore will still be standing
We're not
next
going
year.
to Mount Rushmore,
no.
but yeah.
But yes.
Yes.
X will still be there when we want to pursue it next.
Yeah. And I think a more out of my control fear is once we start boondocking, leaving the dogs and our Airstream at boondocking locations. That's just kind of like an irrational fear of someone coming to the Airstream while we're not there. I have this like really scary fear that someone will magically have a Hensley hitch just like us and come and like tow our Airstream away while we're out hiking. I know that's not going to happen, but there is that, and then there's just the dogs.
Trailers get stolen.
Yeah,
I mean it does happen.
Yeah, and then there's just the dogs, right? So. We will not leave them if I fear for their safety having to do with the temperature or anything like that. Or really if we feel at all unsafe in the places we're camping, which I don't think we will be camping in places we feel unsafe in.
We better not be. Otherwise we're doing something wrong.
I know. So I think it's just this like irrational fear of leaving all of the things we care about someplace that we're not used to. I think that's what it is.
What about... This may be more of your fear than mine, but
I have more fears in general than him.
I am very carefree, as I'm sure you figured out. I don't really worry about stuff. I leave that to her because she worries enough for the both of us.
I do.
Finding a place to stay every night. The More We Explore actually talked about this a lot in one of their past videos. You always have to have a place to stay, and sometimes you're going to be in a position where it's like, where do we park this thing?
Yeah, where are we sleeping tonight? I am not as worried about that. I'm sure there will be times when that's a pain and it worries me, but I'm a massive planner. And I have backup plans upon backup plans.
We have our whole route mapped out on a Google map, which is really cool, by the way.
I have like 4 maps going.
Well, she only showed me one, so now I've learned that that while we're recording this video that there were 3 others. But somehow I'm not surprised.
Yes. Well, I do a lot of research, so I'll have boondocking locations along with the websites they came from, along with backup plans in case they're full or we can't fit or it's muddy, along with all sorts of things. So,
Prepared.
yes, I think it may be stressful. We may have to go to like plan B or plan C at some points, but I will always have a plan B, C, or D, E, F, G, H, I. Keep going. And so I'm not as worried about that.
I hope we don't have a plan I. Otherwise, things are really, really bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I think those are our biggest worries or fears about.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any other really, I don't know, inherent fright about this new lifestyle. I mean, it's something new, but you know, we'll learn to get used to everything.
What we've learned through this whole experience of pushing ourselves into this lifestyle and changing pretty much everything we knew 3 years ago, is that change is scary and it takes some time to get used to, but you end up working through it and figuring things out. So it'll all be good.
We're flexible people.
We are. So that's it.
3 weeks now.
2 weeks.
2 weeks now.
2 weeks from right now, we will be at Picacho Peak on our way out of town.
I don't even know what day it is today.
I know.
2 or 3 weeks.
He's already full-time RVing. Well, pretty much. He doesn't even know what day of the week it is.
Very rarely.
But, yeah. 2 weeks from now, we'll be on the road. So
Healthcare video coming up, and
some last-minute Tucsonin getting ready to go stuff, and then off we go.
Hitting some of our favorite restaurant spots before we finally set sail.
Exactly.
But that'll be fun. One of them's a brewery. 2 of them's a brewery. No, one. One's a brewery.
Yeah. So that's it for this week, guys. And stay tuned for next week's Tuesday Talk, which will be the Healthcare Tuesday Talk.
Yes, and hopefully we'll be able to do that outside instead of inside.
It's cooling off again, back to spring temperatures instead of summer.
Like next.
I know all of you watching this from snowy, cold places are like, wah. But we're not ready for 95-degree heat yet.
The high next week, Wednesday, is 70.
Much better.
That's going to be super cold after this week.
It's going to feel awesome.
So, yeah.
Okay, and we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.